What's up? How you doing? Here we are, Thursday. Beautiful day today. Nice, calm. I mean, a slight breeze, but I don't know. It looks to me like half a mile an hour breeze going from west to east. So today we're going to try a beer. Haven't had beer in a while, so we're going to try this beer, imported from Italy. Menabrea since 1846, product of Italy. It's a lager, nice and cold. You can see with the frost on it. I let it sit in the freezer for about 30 minutes. Expires or best by 12 December 2023. Alcohol content on this beer is 4.8%. So it's a lighter variety of alcohol, which is the way I like it. I like too much alcohol in a beer, makes it taste very bitter. Great color. You'd think it would have been, I think these are a little bit smaller than usual, because usually the beer goes up to the top. So, Menabrea. Yeah, it's 11.2 fluid ounces. Sorry. My first impression, smelling it like that, it smells like a very good quality beer. Has that nice beer smell. Oh yeah, A+ beer. That is a very good beer. Nice and cold. I think I have it at I don't know, 32 and a quarter on the temperature. 32.25. But that is a very good beer. Good flavor. I highly recommend it. This is the kind of beer you want to have on a hot summer day when the sun is going down like now, and you're in your backyard, maybe doing a little bit of a barbecue, which I'm going to do. Today's going to be a basic meal. I do have some steak, but I have some very high quality hot dogs that I bought. Not your average hot dog. This is good quality cuts of meat. So, hear a lot of noise there with the cars. All the mama's boys are going home right now, so they're trying to impress everybody with the loud noise. Like to do some fishing this summer. I went one time last year, and we caught nothing. It was windy that day. The ocean was wavy, a lot of big waves, and I think the fish were just like, we're getting out of here, we're going back that way. So there were no fish. I didn't notice anybody catching any fish, but this time I'm going to get better bait. Yeah, better bait. Yeah, this Italian beer is very good. I mean, I get Peroni once in a while. Haven't gotten it in a while, but I have had it in the past. That's a pretty decent beer. But this one is a little bit better. I don't know why they can't round it up to 12 ounces. They said, let's go with 11. And somebody said, what about 11.2? They said, yeah, that sounds better, 11.2. I'm kind of like in the mood within the next couple of years of traveling to some weird place. I'm fascinated with the interesting places, such as, going to, I don't know, Cairo, You know, maybe even Italy, Greece. Those places, very nice places to visit. Lots to do, good food. But I want to go somewhere that is unusual, like the easternmost portion of Russia, where Alaska almost touches, you know, that little Barren Straits area. Yeah, that area I'd like to be let loose there to explore. Looks beautiful. I go there on Earth Google and I look, beautiful mountains and nobody there. So I would enjoy that. No headaches. It's not, you know, all the time you want to be away from society, but every once in a while you want to go somewhere where it's quiet. Get away from the momos. I know I've said it before, but when I have a beer like this, freezing cold, it reminds me of Shawshank Redemption, the Stephen King movie there, the prison movie with Morgan Freeman. I almost said Morgan Fairchild. But what do? They tar up the roof, and then in return they get cold beers in the bucket with ice, and they're up there drinking them. That really, I don't know what kind of beer they had. I have to look at it again, but it looks really good. So I'm always looking for remote places. Some, you know, even the northern part of Norway, or somebody could fly me to Antarctica, and I could check out the mountains there. Like I want to go all the way in, not for a long time. I don't want to come out frozen like a statue, but I would like to go and visit that mountain range that's in the middle of Antarctica. I'd like to go there for a little bit. And then, you know, the Congo, where Tarzan, I don't know if Tarzan was in Brazil or the Congo. Similar forest. But I would like to go into, you know, those forests that have baboons. And baboons will stalk you. You need a rifle or something to scare them away. I like to go there. I like to go to the Nile, you know, do some fishing for piranha. But I want to see some strange places, you know, the extremes. Maybe even in Peru, the Andes. Go visit that place where the, what was it, cricket players or something, where they crashed, and they had to eat the dead passengers, the dead players, that in order to survive. I mean, they had to. It wasn't like they chose, you know, let's have some gourmet human meat. They had no choice. It's either that or, you know, die. And the will to survive is very powerful at that moment. The only time it's not powerful is when you're suffering from extreme depression. Then the will to survive is not there. You just don't want to survive. But if you're feeling okay mentally, you'll eat the people. But I'd like to visit that location. I think they have a plaque there. And even here in California, in one of the mountains, San Gabriel Mountains, I think, one of the peaks, there's an airplane that crashed there during World War II, and it's still there. That's on my list of things to do. You know, I haven't done that yet because it's in a weird spot. So I'd like to go climb and check out the plane crash. And then another thing I'd like to do, hot air balloon ride, but without the rope attached to the ground. I just want to go way up, you know, a couple of miles, you know, 11,000 feet or so, and maybe 8,000, maybe 11,000 will be a little bit light on the oxygen. 8,000 is good because when you fly in a regular airplane, a jetliner, the cabin is pressurized to 8,000 feet. I mean, it feels like 8,000 feet inside. No matter how high you go 40,000, it's pressurized to 8,000. And I want to say one thing that annoyed me the other day. I was watching The Adventures of Superman, and then I started watching interviews with, what's his name, Larson, the guy that played Jimmy Olsen. He just died recently. I think he was like in his 90s. Maybe he was 100. But he was on Letterman, not the electric company, but Letterman, David Letterman. And it was early 80s, and Letterman asked him if he ever got injured on the show, I guess, doing your own stunts, if he ever got hurt. And he goes, yeah, he goes, I used to catch a lot of colds because they would always get me wet. He always had to have these scenes where he was getting wet. And I'm like, that is not why you caught a cold. Stop lying to people. I mean, okay, it's not really lying if you're ignorant, but, it's like, he said that when it looked like he was in his 50s or something, and he said that. But that's ignorance. You did not catch a cold because your hair got wet. I mean, this association that people have between cold air or wet hair and going outside and being hit by a breeze and then catching a cold is ridiculous. It's been debunked like 100 times. And people still believe that, because sometimes both things happen at the same time, but sometimes two things happening at the same time, doesn't mean they're related. A car went by just now. I burped. I didn't really burp now, but I'm just saying, if I had, it wouldn't be because the car went by. They're both independent of each other. But a lot of people think because it's winter time and you went outside one day without a hat and you caught a cold the next day or that evening, that the two are connected. If you have 3 buses, one bus is called Bus A, the next one is Bus B, and the next one is Bus C. Each bus goes by the same route basically, but Bus A doesn't make Bus B come or Bus C come. They each come on their own, and they're independent of each other. It's not because Bus A passed by that, made Bus B happen or pass by. It's a little confusing, but, it's ridiculous when you hear grown people, they say, oh, don't forget to put on a hat. Well, yeah, you put on a hat to be comfortable. You want to be, the right temperature, but if you don't wear a hat, you're not going to catch a cold because you didn't wear a hat. You may catch a cold because you came into contact with somebody who had the rhinovirus, but I can't believe in the year 2023, people still think that you get sick from cold air. You'll get hypothermia if it's cold enough, or frostbite, but the cold air is not going to give you the common cold. Matter of fact, if you go into a freezer and you're not sick, like they kept you somewhere for like 4 days, they know for sure you don't have the virus, and then they put you in a cold freezer and you're shivering there, like that. Maybe they have your feet in buckets of water. It doesn't even have to be a freezer. Just say it's above freezing slightly so the water doesn't freeze on you with your feet inside. If you don't have the cold virus inside you and the cold virus is not floating around, you will not ever catch a cold. Never. Now the opposite is also true. You can be in a nice comfortable room, 70 degrees, nice, nice feeling of well-being. Maybe you have a nice blanket wrapped around you, and then somebody comes in there and they have a cotton swab and they dip it into some, saliva from somebody who's got a cold and rub it into your nostrils. You will get sick. That's how it works. But you still have people, oh, I went out yesterday, I shouldn't have done it, it was cold out, and today I don't feel well. Yeah, that's why you don't feel well. People need to understand germ theory. If you don't understand germ theory, then, inanimate objects are going to make you sick. So anyway, I'm going to cook the hot dogs and the steak, and then I'm gonna go inside, and then I'm gonna have a meal with my family. I'm gonna have a meal with my family.